It's about value, it's about time for James to go. Welcome to the JB Font channel. This is going to be a special stream this Tuesday evening. Today is July 30th, 2024. I am your host, James Fauntleroy. So good to see all of you back again. You guys were here earlier before, but now you're back again. So it's good to see you. The JB Font channel is available on all major podcast platforms. Go ahead and subscribe there. Also part of Revolutionary Blackout Network, so you can find me there on Sundays for the JB Show, and then you can find me there on Thursdays for the Savvy and JB Show. So if you guys have not already, go ahead and give a like to the stream. This pushes me out to the algorithm. So thank you so very much for being there as well. If you guys have not, you can go to my Substack at jbfont.substack.com. This gives you email notifications of where I go live, upload clips, or write any articles. So you guys have that there as well. I just like to say a blanket hello to the guests. If you guys were already here a little bit earlier, we actually had a stream earlier. You guys can go ahead and watch that after this. I actually was talking about Kamala Harris, and then Kamala Harris being confronted by Amanda Seales. That was a great subject that we got into. And then after that, I also had Fiorella Isabel on from Combo Couch to talk about the elections that happened in Venezuela and the opposition from the United States that was trying to undermine that election. So they had a great conversation there. But just want to get into what we're going to be talking about. A little bit later, we're going to be talking about our primary subject is going to be a doozy. This one's going to be talking about civil war among the IDF over sexual assault. That's right. You heard me correctly. So we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. But for right now, we're actually going to be getting into the conversation with Andre and Elizabeth, aka Tired Peasant and Andre. So we are going to be bringing them on to have the conversation. So good to have you guys on here. Welcome for the first time.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
I'm on it, man.
All right, great, great. One of the reasons, one of the first things that come to mind is, of course, Andre, you go by your name, Andre. But my comrade, my sister from another mister, what is the origin of the name Tired Peasant?
Well, before when I logged on to Twitter in 2020, it used to be Angel in Distress. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. But Tired Peasant, I don't know. It's just I've always felt like a tired peasant at work, mistreated the workers. Instead of us getting raises, we get like cheap pizza parties, never any appreciation. So like I just started naming myself Tired Peasant because I'm just tired of it. And that's
Got
where it originated. Probably just from work.
Understood. Understood. Okay. Now, one of the first things I want to ask is, I always like to ask people their evolution. How did they come to be where they are right now? So, as far as I'll be starting with you, Andre, I would like to ask you your evolution. Like, where are you now as far as ideology, economic ideology, political ideology, and how did you get here to your belief system? How did you get there?
Okay. Back in 2016, I used to be a hardcore Democrat. I
Okay.
supported Hillary Clinton. I, I was on Facebook then. I used to, tell people to vote for her. I'm with her. And then,
Mm,
really, in 2019, my just one day I saw somebody post on Twitter talking about Bernie Sanders. I'm like, who is this Bernie Sanders guy?
mm,
And I went on his website and I seen what his policies were, his policy proposals, and I was very amazed. Like I never heard that before. So, you
yeah.
know, and then I went from supporting Hillary Clinton in 2016 to now supporting Bernie. And then, in 2020, I thought Bernie was going to drop out and become independent. Then I got disappointed. Then I said, like, shoot, man. Then he supported Joe Biden. That really made me upset. So now as of now, I said I'm done with the duopoly. I'm trying to study Marxism, Leninists, and all that stuff, and that's my background.
Gotcha. Tired peasant. What happened with you?
Well, I come from a line of Democrats. I was always a Democrat for like the longest time. I voted for Obama. Then I noticed like after the Obama presidency, like nothing was changing. All this hope and change was fake. Nothing happened in my family's lives, not real change, stuff like that. Just things just started getting worse, like in work, and I just didn't really care about politics until I saw Bernie's campaign, and that got me excited about the movement. But after that happened, when I thought also Bernie was going to be independent, and then he decided to be friends with Biden and endorse Biden, that's when I'm like, never again will I trust a politician. So just things started to get bad with that, and I thought about being like a socialist. I was going through that round, and then I originate better with like socialist communists.
Yeah. So as far as your ideology, you would identify Tired Peasant as socialist?
More as a communist.
Okay.
But I was a Democrat for the longest time. But no change will happen in my life, so things started to get worse.
So are you telling me that Democrats are not synonymous with communism? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Of course. What about you, Andre?
Yeah, I'm with Tired Peasant on that one.
So you burn capitalism with fire.
Yes, sir.
Yes. It hasn't helped your lives at all. I'm down with that.
Of course. As far as like, what was the push? What was the shove that got you into this world that I seem to be suffering under right now, which is called independent media? Why did you jump? Why did you subject yourself to this?
I'm tired. I was just tired of like the same old crap at CNN, MSN, Fox News, just saying the same old shit. The same old lies. And I don't know. We wanted to have a network that is like a voice for the voiceless, like regular people, not politicians, like regular stories, regular lives of our struggle.
Yeah. Your perspective, Andre?
Yeah, same. Me and her, we decided to, hey, we both, she got a big account, I'm got a growing account, so let's just come together and form a network, which is now the ATP network. And ATP. Like she says, it's the voice for the voiceless. So we, like on Tea Time, we invite commies on Twitter to talk about their stories and struggle and stuff like that. So
yeah, we basically invite just your regular average person, and they get a hold of the show, and we just talk about anything, just chill, talk, tea time, just a regular person, talk about their struggles or anything.
That's very cathartic, to be honest, because I mean, you give people a space to really just let their hair down and say what their issues are with the system, and it gives people the space to be able to say, oh my gosh, I'm not going crazy. This person actually feels the way I feel. And I think that's really important too. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we need more of that for sure.
It's a way of building community digitally, right?
Yes.
It's kind of hard when you're on Twitter and you're reading things that other people say, but then you don't get a more of a warmer type of interaction. Like, technically, you and I, Tired Peasant, are in the same city.
I know. We have to get together.
Yeah. Well, we actually have a chance because we're actually doing an action on Sunday. If you have the time and the bandwidth to come out, then I'm just inviting you. You don't have to answer right now, but you're invited. but it's a warmer type of interaction, being able to be, in front of people and seeing their face, hearing the inflection of their voice. And so I think part of being the ideology that we are is that we focus more on community. That's in the root word of communist, right?
Mhm.
And so I think that, you're trying to push more community, and I just want to, applaud you guys for that.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So one of my other questions that I wanted to have is, how can I want to be hell. I don't care. Twitter is a cesspool. Okay.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And we all know this. And you have some people on the left that are more habitually online than others.
Yeah.
What is one of the ways in which you feel, and I'll start with you, Andre, is that the left can actually coalesce and do better in building class solidarity?
One thing, JB, is that we should all just take time to listen to each other. Like we know we all have different, opinions and stuff like that. And I think the problem is with Twitter, particularly for me, is that people if somebody tweets something like it sounds controversial, and then people are just so quick to say you anti-Semitic or you this, you that, and I'm like, just hear them out, if you read the tweet again, or you talk to them privately, then you might have a chance to come to a conclusion like, no, they ain't anti-Semitic. I might agree with their point, but yeah, yeah, man. I think we just need to reach to a junction. That's what I gotta say.
Of course, Tired Peasant.
Pretty much not to be so judgmental. There's so much infighting going on in the left. We need less infighting and more people come together. People are just so quick to block these days instead of just maybe privately DMing this person and talking about it, and still okay, if they're definitely in the wrong, okay, yeah, part ways, but there's just so much bickering between the left, and we need to start organizing before it's too late. That and mutual aid. We need to, instead of donating to politicians, we need to donate to comrades in need. They need our help, not the politicians.
Yeah, that's something that I definitely observe. There are new groups that are popping up, new organizations that are popping up. And then one person in that organization comes to the other organization and says, you're not legitimate. And then the other person comes to the other organization and say, you're not legitimate. And it's like, the question is that what good is it doing the movement if we're constantly bickering online versus actually getting our asses out into the street and actually providing for other people to show them that they can have a better system than what they have now?
Exactly.
And so I feel like the best way is to, one of my new favorite phrases is, I can show you better than I can tell you. And I think the best way is to show others better than we can tell them of how they can have something better than what is already presented in front of them. So
that's very true.
That's true.
Yeah. Actually, this is actually a really good point. Notori Lee says, it's very hard to talk to someone who's saying that you're dumb or misinformed if you don't pick up Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. Oh boy. What do you guys think about that, by the way? What do you guys think about a lot of the people who are, and I'll start off with you, Tired Peasant, next. What do you think about the whole people who were, anti-Biden, Genocide Joe? They were against Genocide Joe when he was the presumptive nominee of, the Democratic Party. And then people were against him for what he was funding in Gaza. But now they're switching, they're filtering and going more with, I'm with her when it comes to Kamala. What's your thoughts?
I think that's ridiculous. You can even see in her tweet that she's going to continue the genocide. It's just like your old boss doing, and the old boss being the new boss. Like, it's basically the same thing. She's very pro-Israel. She's I feel like she's going to do the same thing. I think it's ridiculous. First of all, you're going to be voting for a cop first, and I don't know. And I don't know if I don't know if you've heard the weird song that they have, like Coconut Tree or something, like on TikTok, like Kamala's like weird like remix song. I don't know if you heard that, but
No,
it's just
thank God.
yeah. It's brain rot. But I'm not on the bandwagon for Kamala Harris. I'm sorry. I think it's ridiculous. There's other. You can vote for Jill Stein. You can vote for Claudia de la Cruz. I wish they would all come together, but I'm not going to vote for Kamala Harris. I think she's just going to do the same thing. Yeah, it's going to be a woman president. What? Yeah, a woman's going to be dropping bombs on Gaza. So I just don't agree with that.
Yeah, Andre, and just to add, as far as you're not only a woman president, but a black president. So, Andre, what do you say?
Man, my friend, she lives in Fort Worth. She don't like Joe Biden. She's one of those, JB. She said she don't like Joe Biden, but she said she gonna vote for Kamala Harris. I'm like, what? I'm like, she gonna do the same stuff Joe Biden done, but only different is she just a different skin tone. So I'm just saying, like, voting for Kamala Harris is just another just another stone in the duopoly.
It's another
yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, it's when I look at somebody like Kamala Harris, I just see more of the same. It's just that more of the same is a different gender, and maybe just a few shades, darker, more melanin abundant. But what is good is, exploitation and terrorism. If that terrorism is more melanin abundant, it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense. That's why, I was telling people that you really don't get much of anything different with the Kamala Harris versus Joe Biden,
Right.
So, sorry, go ahead.
It's the same thing. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, one of the things I also wanted to ask you guys about is your perspective about, you were talking about coalescing, right? If you could have a conversation with Claudia de la Cruz, Dr. Cornel West, Dr. Jill Stein, I'll include Jasmine Sherman in there, those who are running independent and third party on the left, what would you tell them?
You want to go, Andre?
I'll tell them y'all need to come together and just form one ticket. Because when you three or four people running separately, it's dividing the vote, it's splitting the vote. So by y'all running together, if you hit 5%, then you get federal funding. Then the third party can build up more and more. Then we could get the truth out to the misinformed and the uninformed. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I would tell them. Exactly,
like a collective force of all of them coming together. They all have like strong traits. They just need to come together. Maybe we'll win that way.
Yeah. I find it kind of makes me sad that feels like there's a bit of a very a fault line between people like Dr. Cornel West and Dr. Jill Stein. Dr. Cornel West even alluding to Jill Stein being racist. That really just it makes me sad, because there was camaraderie there was love there, and so I'm of the opinion that electoral policy is a very small piece, but even in that small piece, you're hoping that people coalesce together, and right. So I don't know. It feels kind of, it feels disheartening, to see. But ultimately, like, this just strengthens my resolve to focus on the goal of actually organizing outside of the system, in order to push for change, because we all know that ultimately, I view electoral politics as a means to push the ideas, not necessarily it's going to be the end goal or the end all be all. It's just a vehicle. It's a means to an end, in my view. So, that's what it looks like to me. What do you say?
You go ahead, Toppers.
No, you can go first. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we gotta leave electoralism, the end goal. Yeah, just too much at stake. As we can see, we live in a dystopian world, man. Climate change,
Yeah,
just
we're running out of time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you feel like electoralism shouldn't be done at all, or do you feel like it's a small part, or do you feel it should play a bigger role?
I'll say electoralism should play a part, not a big part, but a part in local politics, like your
Okay.
city, your
Yeah.
state. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think
yeah,
we should have electoral politics. It's just a politics. It's my opinion. Like, I think everyone should just vote for who they're going to vote for, and that's it. Like, have like a real election, like instead of that.
What do you mean by have a
Oh,
real?
like, um, no, like how they have like the electoral votes and stuff. I think they should just do away with that and just get like the popular vote, something
Yeah,
like that. Just like
yeah,
just do the popular vote.
yeah. Unfortunately, the Electoral College is really an apparatus that was created to give more power to smaller states so that the more populous states don't have all the power.
Oh,
But the problem is that it was geared more towards the states so that slaveholders really ultimately would have, equal power over the larger states. But the apparatus of electoral college really doesn't truly get the will of the people, and the will of the people really should be the ones that win. And if you just did it by pure if you did it just by pure population versus, then the most popular people win. And ultimately, to be honest with you, if you got rid of the electoral college, uh, Republicans would never win again.
yeah, that's true.
that's true.
And
Yeah,
then on top of it, if we voted like direct democracy, I can see things actually able to put it on like a citizen ballot initiative or something like that. Like a national ballot initiative. I think something like that could actually pass because, I mean, what is it? Over 80% of Democrats and at least 52% of Republicans actually want a single payer healthcare system. And, it's still over 50% for independents. So really an overwhelming majority of the United States actually wants a healthcare system where everyone actually has equal and equitable healthcare for
That
all.
would be great.
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the things that I actually look at as well. But just another question for you, as far as you know, the system itself. What type of changes do you think need to be made? And let me rephrase. What do you see as the most victorious course for us, especially in the Western left, as opposed because we see it happening, in the global South, especially. What do you see as the most effective way for us to push for this change for the left? Because I know you guys said that we just kind of have to stop getting in each other's way and start coalescing. But what does that more specifically look like in your view? Start off with Andre.
Uh, I think one way is like you said earlier. I think electoralism. If that's the end goal, then that's not right. I think the real end goal is getting out in the streets, coming
Hmm.
together with your community, educating your community, because the government is not going to save us. We all we got, we all we need, as my coach used to say. So
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, that's what I gotta say.
Yeah. All right,
Um,
Becky.
like organize within your community.
Mhm.
Um, try to like educate people. Speak your truth. Um, there's also community online. Like just try to get everyone together. We need organization. We're not really organized.
Mhm.
I think if we're organized, that could like get the revolution started. But we're not ready at all. We don't have organization. There's like too much infighting. I think we need to start, organize within your community, um, and also in the online world. Just we need to organize.
What would you say to the person who is, they're working second shift? They have kids that they have to take care of, or they have a parent that they have to take care of, and so they're just exhausted throughout the week.
I get it.
And it's like, well,
Yeah,
how do we organize if I don't even have the bandwidth to do it? What do you say to that person?
Like for instance, like a general strike, like it's not going to work unless the people that are like working those 2 to 3 jobs that they're so tired with like their kids and stuff like that. That's why we need to like have like a big mutual aid thing with like some sort of general strike.
Mhm.
um, I could tell the person that's really tired, like anything helps, anything that you can do or say to just spread your truth to the community. You don't have to uh, like if you work a lot, you don't necessarily have to go out in the streets, but you can just get with someone in your community, see what you guys can figure out. But definitely, I think mutual aid has a lot to do with like a general strike. We need that in order to help the people that are working to actually get out on the streets with us.
Mm. Andre?
I tell that person, I say, I know you're tired. I know you got kids. Um, Obviously, I know you ain't got the energy to go out in the streets to organize. But what you can do is, when you get a chance, just organize online. Like talk to your family member or talk to your friends. Just tell them, that we need to come together. Stop with all this, um, bickering and stuff, because it's not going to go nowhere like that. So
Yeah,
that's what I would tell them.
pretty much everyone has a place.
Yeah,
You just got to find out what your place is.
Of course, of course. Yeah, and that's something that I also advocate for too, and I think that is absolutely necessary for us. And there's many different ways in which organizing can look. There's many different styles it can take. And one of the things I always defer to is what Kwame Ture said about organization. All the great revolutionaries that we've ever had belong to our organization. So either you create one or you join one, but either way, organizing is really the best thing possible. So I thank you guys for that. And I really appreciate your input on that, and also telling us how you have evolved in this space. So it's deeply appreciated.
Thank you.
no problem, man.
So are you guys still down to cover the next segment with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So just to tell everybody right now, if you guys can just give the stream a like, it pushes me out into the algorithm. Thank you so very much. And then we'll get to the rest of the house cleaning stuff after the next segment. But what are we talking about next? This is going to be kind of heavy. And so, to anybody that may be triggered, I want to give a quick warning. This is going to be a very heavy subject about sexual assault. And so, I would like to preface this by saying if you guys need to leave, then please feel free to do so. It is okay. You guys can skip out on this part, but I just want to make sure I cover this story because it's very deeply important, especially in the realms of politics. So, we're going to be talking about this story called Civil War Over Assault. So, this is a very intense story that really has shook a lot of people to their very core. So there was a a faction, not a faction, but more a division between two parts of the IDF or IOF, if you would like to call them the Israel Occupation Forces, that are actually against one another. And their disagreements with one another is essentially whether or not sexual assault is okay. You heard me correctly. So we're going to go into this because I think you guys, this is wild. So let me grab this video here. Let me see, got it. Let me see, I had it here. Oh, sorry. Let me see. Oh, wait. I remember. I have it here. All right. Let me share the screen. And this is from the Cradle. It says breaking. It says confrontations erupt between Israeli military police and Israeli soldiers at the Sadi Timan detention facility in the Negev Desert, responsible for torturing and abusing many Palestinian detainees abducted from Gaza after military police raided the site. Hebrew website Hashadat Basman said the police raided to investigate a torture for fun case that involved the sexual assault of Palestinian prisoner, causing him a severe rectal injury. The prisoner had to be transferred to a hospital and his condition remains unknown. According to the report, 10 soldiers were taken in for questioning. So here is the video here.
אנחנו נעשה פה יד אחת נגד הדבר הזה שצה"ל נלחם בחיילים שלו. זהו, זה נגמר. זהו. יד אחת, כולם בכוח 100 יסיפו. כואב לי להרים את האף על צה"ל. בחיים לא אהבתי את האף על צה"ל. יעגור כוחות חמושים. בוא כנס לשם. כולם שם. בוא כנסו לבפנים. בואו כאן לא לבפנים, אני תאמין לי שאני לא רוצה בלגן ואתם לא רוצים את הבלגן. הוא נכנס לבפנים, אתה רוצה להתקדם. בוא תתקדם, תסתכל בעיניים שלך שוב כמה בפנים. תלך לבפנים עכשיו. המפקד שלנו יגיד שהוא הולך לחקירה, אני עוזר לך. לא קיבלנו הוראה, הוא לא יוצא, נגמר. צבאית לעצור אותנו, כשאנחנו אחראים על המחבלים של הנוח'בה. רבותיי, עם ישראל, אני מבקש מכם.
They are arguing with each other over sexually assaulting prisoners. This is this the most moral army in the world?
Wow.
Is that what this is?
That's
Because from looking at this,
דבר כזה, בגלל שלקחו לי פה חיילים כבר לחקירה, הם כבר לא איתנו פה, אני לא רואה אותם פה. כל הצוות שלי,
בוא נעמי, תן לי שם.
תן לי רגע שנייה, תן לי רגע שנייה. אני יכול לעצור אותנו. מבחינתי, החיילים פה, לפני הסופה שהם מוצאים לא יסתפקו בזה, אני לא מאמין.
At first hearing this story,
it's terrible.
It's my heart, man. Just to argue over SA, like, man, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and this is something that I think a lot of people This is something that I think that a lot of people aren't aware of. And then people will say, well, Israel's doing this just to protect themselves. And it's like, well, what protection is there? And the argument of people being able to, whether or not if they could sexually assault somebody, that is wild.
Insanity.
Yeah. Let's go here. This also here is from Khaleesi, says Israel is headed towards a civil war over the right of its military words. Says, yes, that's right. They are protesting over the right of their prison officers to be able to sexually assault. Let's take a look here.
Oh my gosh.
So essentially it's, if they sexually assaulted somebody, then it should be okay. And then others are saying, no, it is not okay.
Yeah, it's never okay. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
It's not defending them. What are they defending? Like,
it's like once the person is detained, like, what are you defending against?
Right.
There's another one here. This is the outside of what's been going on. I thought sexual assault was universally agreed as a bad thing.
I thought so too. My goodness, man.
I mean, what did the whole Me Too thing happen? Like,
yeah.
I thought, and it wasn't just, because whenever we talk about sexual assault, everybody automatically goes to the victim being female, which 9 times out of 10, it typically is, which is, bad. But the sexual assault that, that sparked all this was against a male Palestinian. A male Palestinian. So, it's like, what are we sitting here arguing? What is there to argue? What is there to debate over? And it just doesn't make any sense. Here is a video from Hotspot that I want to share with you guys. This is out of the Israeli Knesset. And when people talk about when we talk about Zionists, this is the type of people that we're referring about. This is from Hotspot. It says, Israel Knesset discussing the hard-pressed issues their government faces. Is it okay to sexually assault prisoners with a metal rod? What?
Wow.
אני לא יודע אם יודעים, אבל יש אירוע קרוב בשדה תימן שמשטרה צבאית הגיעו לעצור חיילים ששמרו על מחבלי נוח'בה. החיילים בשדה תימן, מתקן מעצר של מחבלי נוח'בה, ומשטרה צבאית שם הגיעה לעצור כמה לוחמים שם שכנראה בגלל איזשהם טענות של יחס למחבלי נוח'בה, ויש שם אירוע של התבצרות וכולי. הטרלול שהמדינה שלנו נכנסת אליו סביב הסיפור הזה הוא מטורף, צריך להפסיק אותו, ואני חושב שצריך פה לתת דוגמה אישית, ואני אומר עכשיו, ואני קורא לחברי הקואליציה לעשות כמוני, אני קם ואני יוצא מפה, ואני לא הולך להצביע יותר על שום דבר, עד שהסיפור הזה והטרלול הזה, שיש מי שבפרקליטות חושב שאפשר לבוא ולעצור חיילים על דברים שעושים למחבלי נוח'בה, לא נגמר. אוקיי? ואני מאוד מבקש, ואני חושב שחבריי בקואליציה טוב יעשו, אם יעשו כמוני. אנחנו לא יכולים להמשיך כרגיל.
להכניס מקל לרקטום של בן אדם, זה לגיטימי?
כן, אם הוא נוח'בה, הכל לגיטימי לעשות.
אוקיי.
הכל.
מצוין.
Oh my God. That dude says it is legitimate to do that to somebody.
What? That's
sick. That's sick.
And these are the people that Palestinians are supposed to get along with? Like, what the heck is that?
Two-state solution? Like, what the?
Hold up. Wait a minute. This dude, this cue ball-headed terrorist just said that it was okay?
מקל לרקטום של בן אדם, זה לגיטימי?
כן, אם הוא נוח.
This guy right here on the right, who's pointing, says yes, it is okay to commit sexual assault.
This probably.
Oh my gosh.
They want us to keep thinking they're the good guys?
Yeah.
Hang on, let's continue.
איתי לעשות לו.
אוקיי.
הכל. הכל.
זה מה שרציתי.
הכל האנשים האלה, אתה יודע מה עשו?
אוקיי.
טוב.
יש דברים שלא עושים.
Wow. This is Netanyahu's Abu Ghraib.
Yeah.
Totally.
This is Netanyahu's Abu Ghraib, and it is and there's a lot of people that are going to be outraged about this story, and decidedly so, because you are literally committing assault against Palestinian people who, many of them who are in prison, are detained by the IDF, are detained because they're Palestinian, not because they actually did anything wrong.
Exactly.
Yep.
And remember, I did a story about this a couple of months ago, how a lot of Palestinians were being detained who were not any type of Palestinian resistance. They weren't Hamas, and they're literally being detained and tortured in prison. And now you have them being sexually assaulted. And some of these Palestinians that are being tortured in prison are men, women, and even children.
That's crazy. Children.
Yeah.
And so, mind you, Arabs make up 20% of the Israeli population, but they're over 50% of the prison population in Israel. What does that sound like?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so let me share this, and then I'll get into the article. This is from Zay Squirrel. Great account. If you guys aren't following Zay Squirrel, you guys need to. It says, breaking. An influential fanatical Zionist propagandist has just come out and admitted that Israel is engaged in actual systematic mass sexual assault of Palestinians, and that they do it to those they know who are innocent. He admits he was lied to by his own government, media, and friends. Let's read the actual tweet. This is from Shael Ben Ephraim. It says, I feel stupid and ashamed. In May, an expose came out on CNN detailing the abuses in Sede Yemen. Then the New York Times released their own article about it. I even talked about it on this channel, guys, so you guys can see that as well. I talked about it. It says both were backed up with Israeli sources crossed with Palestinian ones. I dismissed them because my government sources and Israeli media denied them. My whole life I was told the international media was out to get Israel, that they all were anti-Semites. But today, I realize how much I was lied to by my country, by my friends, by my media. Today, many of the people I talked to who denied these allegations admitted that they were true. And the worst part, none of this is coming to light because the IDF and government have changed their hearts about it. It's coming now because the pressure from the UK, the ICC, and the ICJ was getting too great to ignore. This would get Netanyahu, Gallant, and Chief of Staff in serious trouble. So they finally said the truth, that Israel is routinely torturing inmates, that sexual abuse is fairly common there, that people have been tortured to death. Worst of all, many of the people in this facility were innocent. rounded up by accident, but there was no real verification process before they were subject to this hell on earth. This can't go on. So it says, they say they're not just sexually assaulting them, they're sexually assaulting them to death. Israel is intentionally massing R-wording innocent Palestinian people to death. And the entire Western media and political is ensuring that they can do it. And this is laundering them as detailed in this thread. So this is basically the receipts that they are actually committing this. And so for the people in the chat, I'm sharing this link because anybody who keeps talking about what Israel has a right to defend itself, does Israel have a right to sexually assault its prisoners?
No.
And this was all happening before October 7th, too. Like, this has been going on.
Been going on, yeah.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. Let me also share this article because I got some choice words for Ben-Gvir. I got some choice words for that monster. So this is from the Israel Times. I'm sorry, the Times of Israel. It says military police raid IDF detention facility, 9 held over serious abuse of a detainee. It says heated argument erupts at SD Tiemann as investigators take 9 suspects for questioning after terrorist suspect was brought to a hospital with signs of sexual abuse. So it basically going over, the 9 suspects that were taken in, and says the investigation was launched after the detained terrorist suspect was brought from the base to the hospital with signs of serious abuse, including to his anus. It continues. It says National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir condemned the soldiers' arrests and other members of his far-right Otzma Yehudit party announced that they were headed to the facility in southern Israel to protest the soldiers' detention. So Ben-Gvir is mad that soldiers who essentially sexually assaulted a prisoner are being held in prison. They're being detained. He does not like that they're being detained. This is who Ben-Gvir is. It says the spectacle of military police coming to arrest our best heroes at SDE Tiemann is nothing less than shameful. That's from Ben-Gvir. It says far-right politicians later urged supporters to come and protest at the detention facility which the soldiers have been taken. A number of far-right lawmakers and activists, including MKSV Sukkot of the ultra-nationalist religious Zionist party, broke into the base amid their angry protests outside. In a video filmed at the base, Sukkot declared that we cannot investigate the soldiers until we investigate those who failed to prevent October 7th. Taking up a megaphone, he told protesters, "We have no other army. This is an important demonstration. Let's go outside and not fight with the soldiers." So they are literally like outside protesting that they should be able to commit sexual assault. And they're calling them heroic warriors for rape.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So this is basically what's happening according to the most moral army in the world.
Right.
And I responded to somebody who said something really horrific. I'm going to see if I can find it. But this person says something horrible. Here it is. They kept it up. Hang on. Okay. So the video I showed, it was also shared by Owen Jones. and Owen Jones had this to say. He says, Israeli citizens are rioting in support of the right of soldiers to sexually assault Palestinians. What do you even say at this point? What do you even say, right? So let's go to, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Let's scroll down to this guy. This guy, Bashar Ali, says the depths of Zionist depravity knows no limit. Conceived, born, raised, exported, funded, armed, politically and military, defended governments from the EU, Britain, and America, right? This guy, Keenan Nitrell, said this. He said, it's technically not rape if the woman is a non-Jew.
What?
What?
God is pretty clear about this. It is still a minor crime, but should be understandable after October 7th.
Oh, Lord.
These are Zionists.
Zionists, yep, to the core.
These
100.
are Zionists. Y'all want to know what I said?
What'd you say?
I said, they also rape Palestinian men. You're sick. This is the kind of reasoning they used against my enslaved ancestors in the United States. Shame on you. Because, look, I can safely assume, Andre, that you are a black man, right?
Yeah.
And when learning about our ancestors, whether it was here or whether it was in the rest of the diaspora, our ancestors were sexually assaulted, both male and female. Let's be real.
You're right.
And it was excused with, oh, they're not really human beings, so therefore it's okay.
Yep. 1A for human.
Yep. That's the reasoning of Zionists.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is why many of us are looking at Zionists and the occupation of Israel and what they're doing, and we look at them with eyes of contempt, because this is literally a Holocaust in real time, and we've been saying it from the mountaintops, and people look at us and go, you're anti-Semitic.
Yeah, that doesn't scare us anymore.
Yeah.
No.
There's
It does.
tactics. It's not working.
Yep.
Because that's what Nazis said about Jewish people.
Yeah, exactly. That they weren't human. And now we're seeing what's happening right now and like live.
How could you do that? And so now they're warring with each other over it?
That's bizarre.
Yeah, that.
This is why independent media is so important. Because how much has MSNBC, Fox News, News Nation, CNN, CBS, ABC, how many of them have actually said this is a bombshell? This is a bombshell story that should go out everywhere.
Yeah. Should be.
And how many people are going to be too afraid to touch it because they don't want to be called anti-Semitic? The thing is like Zionism and Judaism are not the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't say, that's why we need more independent media. You don't see it like on my local news. They always say Israel Hamas war, or like other news stations. They don't say that there's like a literal Holocaust that's happening right now. That's why we need more independent media.
Yeah. And the problem is that, when it comes to, in fact, this is even better. In fact, when it comes to what's going on, and people conflate Zionism and Judaism, you're really erasing the Jewish people that will not stand for this type of depravity.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give you an example of Jews who do not stand for this type of horror. Jewish Voices for Peace. They are a wonderful group. If you guys do not follow them, I recommend that you follow them. Jewish Voices for Peace. These are Jewish people who are actually standing against Zionism. It says, believe Palestinians. As the Israeli military wages a genocidal war in Gaza, its soldiers are no longer hiding their abhorrent abuse from public eye. And Palestinians are rightfully pointing out these atrocious practices that have been used for decades. Sexual violence and torture are tools of all repressive regimes to try to punish and destroy the spirit of anyone who challenges their opposition. The Israeli military is able to commit atrocities like this because of the world is allowing it. While our government intentionally looks the other way, we refuse to. We will not be silent until there's weapons embargo and a permanent ceasefire. Until the genocide of Palestinians end, until Palestine is free. So this is talking about Dr. Yawar Harari, says an Israeli MK, member of parliament from the Likud Netanyahu's party, stated that it is legitimate to sexually assault Palestinian detainees in Israeli prisons. These are not fringe politicians. These are from the ruling party whose leader was given a hero's welcome in the U.S. Congress a few days ago. And then Bayan says, you're shocked Israelis are sexually assaulting Palestinian hostages. I am shocked. You're just learning that. Israelis have been sexually assaulting Palestinians for the past 76 years. There's an endless number of testimonies that have been submitted over the years, but Israel is above the law. These are from Jewish people speaking out.
Yeah.
Against.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to get your initial thoughts about this story. I mean, I know it is horrible, but does this really... I want to be wrong about stuff like this. You know, Tired President, let me go for you first. I want to be wrong about this, but, you know, but unfortunately, we're right when we call out Israel.
Yeah, and it's been happening before October 7th. And they can't keep saying anti-Semitic, using those tactics. It's not going to work. Like, we're seeing like babies being murdered every single day. Now the sexual assaults that's been happening for decades. They're not the moral army. Like, there's nothing they could say anymore to try to change our minds.
Yeah, and Andre, I mean, the failure. I won't even call it failure. It is purposeful neglect of the corporate media to point this out. It's just, it's atrocious, man. Like, this is why I said before we went on stream that we need more of us in independent media, so we can bring all this out. Just please continue on with that thought.
Yeah, man. You see, they're trying to ban. Well, they're going to ban TikTok because the young people, the young generation, are seeing this live. You see what I'm saying? And me and Ty Peasant, that's why we decide to do this to make the ATP network to spread the truth, because what you get on Fox News and CNN is just lies.
Propaganda. That works for
propaganda, and seeing that story today, JB, it sickens me. That's why I've been so quiet, because I know this has been going on, but just to see a civil war over SA, like,
it's so bizarre.
You gotta be kidding me. Yeah.
It's sickening, and this is why people are camping out at colleges. This is why people are marching in the streets.
Yeah, we need more of that.
Yeah. I mean, really, we need a general strike. We need the boycotts to continue and intensify. BDS is not even as strong as it should be. It should be even stronger.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yep. So that's what's going on in Israel. Please keep speaking out about what's going on in Palestine. Talk about this story, because this shows the depravity of Zionism and why we need to get rid of settler colonialism across the board. Because once we get rid of settler colonialism, we save the world. Go ahead and like the stream. Thank you very much to everybody. You guys want to go over some comments in the chat? All right. Let's go over some comments in the chat, and then once we're finished and do a little bit of house cleaning, then we're on our way out. All right, so let me go to The Rock. Oh my goodness. That story is just, whew. And how many people that we know that, you know, in our lives that have suffered from sexual assault, and the fact that they're doing this and trying to allow for it is crazy. So thank you very much for the tip on Rockfin Roger. And for the other one too. He says organizations get infiltrated when they can only be immune if soon as they achieve their goal, they break up. Call me sometime on who's operating on one track, but the whole reason why one organizes and does protest, demand, and general strike is to get the policy that you want. If you want to get what you want, organize around citizen ballot initiatives. Once achieved at state level and people got to test it out, they'll pass nationally. That is true, because once, you know, like for instance, the whole thing about marijuana legalization, once it happened in the first state, I think it was Colorado. Was it Colorado? I think it was the first state. Then next thing you know, everybody wanted to get high.
I hope it happens in Florida this time.
Oh man, we do have that. There's actually some other ones that are kind of a little less known here in Florida. One is going to be to make it so that school board. One is to make school boards elections partisan, which is a bad idea in my view. We do not want school boards to be partisan. And then there was another one Roger was telling me about. I got to look it up again. There's another one. I think it was about money in politics here in Florida. I got to look it up. I think it's Amendment 1 and Amendment 3. I think it is. I got to look it up. But yeah, we gotta work on these citizen ballot initiatives and get them passed, or the ones that are going to harm us, we gotta get them taken down. And then there's another one for abortion as well here in Florida. That's going to be on the ballot as well. So yeah, so that's going to be good. Let's go to the rest of the chat. Ooh, I know y'all got a lot to say. Ooh boy. Okay, so Kill Your Grigors in the chat says, "Do distance just ended with Kit. Now it's JB." Good to see it. Miguel says, "Peace. Good to see it." H. Will coming in saying hello all. Leroy saying, "Not JB with back-to-back bangers." Yes, it is me once again. Guess who's back again? Terry Connolly saying, "Good evening, JB and Sam. So good to see you." We have Commander coming in. Good to see you. Arts Rider in Black says, "Better than burninated pet." What? Oh, that's burninated pet. Okay. Creative Experience says, "I voted for Obama and Kamala. Man, I wish I knew about capitalism earlier." Ooh, you ain't the only one. Notori Lee coming in with hearts. Good to see you, Notori. My sister from another mister up in here. All right. I'm going to get back to... Let me see. This person, Nikolai, says, "Tired Peasant and Andre, my favorite humans." Okay.
Aww.
Oh, wow. Okay. Appreciate that.
All right. Roger Meadows again says, organized to run CBI amendments. All right. So let me see. Zahiruddin White, South Africa, says, "Our country, South Africa, has been warning about these apartheid crimes in Israel, but America and Israel always said that we don't know what apartheid is." That's like a victim of domestic abuse, seeing somebody else who's been abused domestically, and then you tell that person, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." What? Like a domestic
Lord.
abuse victim knows of domestic violence when they see it. They can see the signs. So of course, a country like South Africa be like, "Oh no, we know apartheid. That's apartheid." It's just like when black people say, "Oh no, that's racism. Well, that's racist." Oh yeah, we know.
Yeah.
You know. Oh my God. Slater says, "Down with the system." Agreed.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Totally.
for sure.
Let me see. Let me go. Oh yeah, Bryce said, "I just seen Nico's hotspot about this. I ain't surprised." Oh, I didn't get to see that yet. Okay, I'm pretty sure it was really good. Lena says, "Israel writing, great. Oh, it's because their fascist government isn't evil enough." Dear God. Wadi said they misspelled immoral. Yep. Xfern to the max says, and they love to talk about how Muslims are sexually assaulting others. It's easier to believe for Zionists because they are more brown. That's true too. Yeah. Zahir Rudin is right. They sodomize him with a stick up his rectum. This is evil. Like, and people try to make excuses for it. Freedom Experience says this is human torture experiments going on in Israeli prisons. And some of y'all don't know what be happening to Palestinian kids.
I know.
Yeah.
And there's so many children there too. That's
Yeah. Let me see. Baby Goes Hard in the Paint says, we're asked whether forcing sex on a spouse qualifies as rape or not. Oh, you guys are talking about something that's kind of adjacent, but okay. I'm trying to see anybody new that I haven't called on yet. Yeah, Mika Chan says, "Oh no, yeah, unfortunately, that's what they've been doing." And look, make no mistake, it also happens in the U.S. Army too. How many service members have complained about sexual assault even among their ranks?
Mm-hmm.
it happens a lot.
Yeah.
Travis Kelly says corporate media is a complete failure in doing propaganda on behalf of Israel. Absolutely.
Very true.
And some of the stuff that came out was from CNN. Like, that's where that report came out. Oh my gosh. It's crazy, man. And also all the headlines about, Israel allowing, Zionists who are pedophiles to come into their country just to move there because they can't live here anymore, so they move there. It's just
Sick.
people talk about
Evil.
people talk about they demonize people who are Arab or Muslim, and it's like every accusation is a confession.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Totally.
So I mean, that was a heavy subject, but this is why we get together like we can to protest and to organize against this fascism, right? This totalitarian and this torture that's constantly being done to people like the Palestinians, what's going on with people in Sudan, what's going on with people in Congo and Haiti, because ultimately we got to talk about it. And then we also have to push and organize against it because they're literally killing people out here. you know.
Yeah.
So stay vigilant, guys. Keep talking about Palestine. Do not stop. Oh boy. Yeah, that was a heavy one, guys. But I appreciate you guys sticking through with me for that one.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we need to
No
we
problem.
need to talk about it. Yeah, everyone needs to talk about it more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I see you with your keffiyeh on. I see you. You know, so
Thank you.
you know, gotta keep on, you know, making the voices heard about that. One of the things that I wanted to do before I get going is I also wanted to give a big shout out and thank you to all the patrons on Patreon, because without you guys, I would not be able to do the work I do. You guys make it definitely possible. So we're going to go in reverse because I went forward this time. So thank you to everybody. We have the tiers: JB members, Solidarity, Comrades, JB Fonters, Super JB Fonters, Super Duper JB Fonters, and Mega JB Fonters. So thank you so very much to everybody for contributing and being members of the channel. Appreciate it very much. And just to let you guys know, my channel is demonetized. So if you like to support the channel, you can support via Patreon or PayPal. So thank you so very much for that. So just to let you guys can let them know where to find you and what do you have coming next. We'll start off with you, Tired Peasant.
Well, you can find me on Twitter. And I'm starting up a show in the ATP network called Chill Time with Tired Peasant. Usually that gets posted on Thursdays, so you can find me there, or you can find me on Twitter.
Okay, Andre.
Okay. You guys can find me on Twitter. My handle is LakeShowBoy24, and also I got an alternate account too, just in case I get suspended because I say a lot of stuff on there. It's Comrade Dre, and I do 2 shows. I do Andre the Man Show on the ATP network. I just like a news show, and sometimes when I'm available, I do the Tonight Show with Andre. So that's more like a live stream.
Our website.
So, yeah, and also we got some more stuff coming. My cousin Willow, her and Marty B, they on Twitter too. They got a show called Under the Willow Tree, and yeah, so that's what's going on.
All right. Okay. So thank you so very much to having you both on. Look, I cannot wait to have you guys back on. We can actually talk about some other news stories just like this. And look, you guys be well. Have a wonderful and peaceful evening. I wish you guys cookies and milk.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
All right. And I will catch you guys on the interwebs.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye. All right, everybody. So that's going to be my show for this evening. I gotta head out. I know Sabby is live right now at 7:15, so she probably started about 15 minutes ago. So I'll be tuning into that while I'm doing some editing because I got some editing to do. But just like I always say, guys, love you always. Water your plants, water yourselves, leave the world better than you found it. And look, do all the things if you got them, because why not? And I will catch you all in the next one. Mwah! Forehead kisses to every single one of y'all. Thank you for tuning in for this special stream. Thank you so very much for watching my channel, and I deeply appreciate it from the top and bottom of my heart. If you wish to support the channel further, so I can keep bringing you content that is educational and informative, you can become a patron on patreon.com/JBFont. You can find that link in the pinned comment or in the description below. No matter what you give, you'll be supporting independent media and education that helps make the world better. Thank you so much, and you can watch more of my content here. Mwah. Forehead kisses, and have a beautiful day.